Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barb Advopalker. I'll be sharing with you today a presentation on my market strat performance for the company that I led called Magneto Industries. So the agenda for today is going to be to cover a few topics that are going to highlight what I've been able to learn over the course of the marketing management class this summer. The first thing we're going to cover is going to be a firm overview around how my company did in the market strat assignment. We'll also be looking at the firm's performance, breaking this out by customer segment, and also looking at some of the overall firm and financial data for the company. Afterwards, we'll be looking at the marketing mix by consumer segment, and we'll look at how marketing segmentation and targeting and positioning led to how the company did overall. And we'll look at the 4 Ps for the marketing mix: product, price, place, and promotion. And lastly, we'll round this out talking about lessons learned of what I would recommend for future students that would be taking this class down the road. So let's go ahead and get started. So talking a little bit about Magneto Industries, this company operated over the course of 6 periods. So think about this as over the course of 6 years for how the company did compared to 5 other companies in the industry. We produced a product called Sonites. So this fictitious product, think of it as a cell phone or an iPad that we were marketing to the industry. Initially, we had the opportunity to target multiple customer segments. Well, quickly we learned that it was really our best bet to focus on targeting certain consumer segments instead of trying to tackle them and target them all. Based on this, we focused on 3 of the segments. The first being the Explorer segment, which is really a group of customers looking for a mid-range price product. They're pretty price sensitive and they prefer a really high performance product over really any convenience factors. We also targeted shoppers. Shoppers are a segment of the industry also looking for a mid-price product. They like to shop a lot and they're really looking for value for money. And they're okay with accepting an average performance or convenience product. And lastly, we looked at savers. Savers are your type of shoppers that are going to look to go to your, mass merchandise or stores like Target or Walmart, and they're looking for an average convenience product with a reasonable price. So they're very cautious spenders. Well, we only started out with 2 products. We started out with 2, and then we saw quickly that we had a good opportunity to add a 3rd product. And so because of this, we really targeted 3 core brands, the first being Move, the second being Most, and the third being More. And you'll hear a little bit about all 3 of these today. So for firm and segment performance, how did we do overall? Well, for firm performance, started out weak, and we really had a little difficulty recovering. We added the 3rd product to better diversify, and overall we finished 5th, but I do feel that if we would have had a few more periods to show performance and progression, I think we would have possibly been able to pull into 3rd or 4th position. So for each brand, how did they do? Well, Most started out really strong, but it faced tough competition. Overall, it was the strongest product. More, as I mentioned, was a new product that we introduced. It started to grow in the marketplace, but really, it really takes a while to get a presence and make sure there's brand awareness and that people are looking to buy that product. So even though it was introduced in the 2nd period, it really wasn't until the 4th period until we started to see progress in that area. And then lastly, Move. This started out a really weak product to begin with. I evaluated whether I should phase it out, but instead I decided to introduce R&D to improve the product and then position it to go after one of our consumer bases. So how did we do in the segment overall? Well, Most ended up being a 2nd in the shoppers market segment. More ended up to being 2nd in the savers market segment, and Move was 1st in the explorers market segment. So overall, across the 3 consumer segments that we did opt to target, we ranked 1st in one and 2nd in the other 2. But I think really the challenge was that the other brands that you're going to see here in a moment, they were really just outperforming us so much in the shoppers and savers segment. So if you look at this gauge at the bottom of the presentation, how do I think that we did overall? Well, I learned a lot during the course of the class, and had I had more time to be able to recover, I think we could have done much better. So I'm definitely not saying that we did excellent or even good, but I'm saying, we did, about average. So I'm putting about here in the yellow because there's definitely opportunity for growth and room for improvement. So from a financial perspective, how did we do overall? Well, if you see, we started out in the first period making about, 35 million.